Muhammad Ali looked at the young man in front of him. He smiled. He asked a simple question. Are you gonna be the next big star? The young man stood there, silent. His fists already knew the answer. But Ali didn't. The greatest boxer of all time just asked Mike Tyson if he had a future. Tyson was already a killer, already a beast, already destroying everyone in his path. But Ali didn't know. That moment changed everything between them. It was 1984. Ali was still famous, still loved, but his body was breaking down. His hands shook a little. His voice was softer. The punches he threw at the world were now just memories. He walked into a gym in upstate New York. He came to see Cus D'Amato. Cus was a legendary trainer. He trained champions. Floyd Patterson, Jose Torres, and now a teenager nobody outside the boxing world knew yet. His name was Mike Tyson. Ali didn't come to see Tyson. He came to see Cus, to talk, to remember old days. But when he walked in, he saw this young kid. Thick neck, cold eyes, moving around the heavy bag like a machine. Tyson was 18 years old. He looked older. He looked dangerous. But Ali had seen 1,000 fighters. He thought this was just another kid with dreams. Cus walked over to Ali. They hugged. They talked. But Cus kept looking at Tyson. He wanted Ali to see him. Really see him. So Cus called Tyson over. Mike, come here. Meet the greatest. Tyson walked slowly. His heart was pounding. This was his hero. This was the man he watched on old tapes every single night. The man whose fights he studied like a Bible. And now Ali was standing right there. Ali put his hand out. Tyson shook it. Ali smiled that big, beautiful smile. What's your name, kid? Tyson said his name. Quiet, respectful. Ali nodded. Then he asked it. You gonna be a star? You gonna be the next champ? It was a kind question, a friendly question, but it cut deep. Because Tyson wasn't trying to be a star. He was already a monster in the making. He had knocked out grown men. He had sparred with killers. He had destroyed everyone Cus put in front of him. But Tyson didn't say any of that. He just nodded. I'm gonna try, champ. Ali smiled again. He patted Tyson on the shoulder. Good luck, kid. Work hard. Stay humble. Then he walked away. He went back to talking with Cus. Tyson stood there. He felt something strange. Respect. But also fire. Ali didn't see him. Didn't recognize the killer standing right in front of him. And that hurt. Not in a bad way, but in a way that made Tyson want to prove himself even more. Cus saw it. He always saw everything. After Ali left, Cus pulled Tyson aside. You know what just happened? Tyson shook his head. Cus smiled. The king just walked past the prince and didn't even know it. That's okay. One day, the whole world will know. You just keep working. 2 years later, Tyson exploded. 1986. He became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. He was 20 years old. He knocked out Trevor Berbick in the second round. The world had never seen anything like him. He didn't just win fights. He ended them. First round. Second round. Brutal. Fast. Scary. People started saying his name the way they used to say Ali's. With fear. With respect. With wonder. And Ali watched. By now, his Parkinson's was getting worse. He didn't do many interviews. He didn't appear in public much. But he saw Tyson on TV. He saw the destruction. He saw the power. And according to people close to him, he remembered that day in the gym. He remembered the quiet kid. And he realized what he had missed. In 1988, they met again. This time at a big event. A charity dinner. Tyson was now the most feared man on the planet. Undefeated. Undisputed. Everyone wanted to be near him. Everyone wanted a picture. But when Tyson saw Ali across the room, he walked straight to him. No hesitation. He didn't care about anyone else. Ali was sitting down. His hands were shaking, but his eyes were still sharp. Tyson knelt down next to him. Champ, it's me, Mike Tyson. Ali's face lit up. He remembered. He pointed at Tyson. His voice was quiet, but clear. "I know you. You're the killer. You're the one." Tyson smiled. "You asked me once if I was gonna be a star. I've been trying ever since." Ali grabbed Tyson's hand. He held it tight. He looked him in the eyes. And he said something Tyson never forgot. "You were always the star. I just couldn't see it yet. Forgive me." Tyson's eyes got wet. He didn't cry, but it was close. This was the man he wanted to be like, the man whose words he had memorized. And now that man was asking for forgiveness, for something that didn't even need forgiving. But here's the truth. Ali didn't really need to apologize, because that moment in 1984 did something important. It lit a fire in Tyson. It made him feel invisible, and that feeling pushed him to become visible, to become undeniable. If Ali had recognized him that day, maybe Tyson wouldn't have fought so hard to prove himself. Maybe he wouldn't have become the beast he became. Tyson said years later in an interview, "When Ali asked me if I was going to be a star, I felt like nothing, like I hadn't done enough. So I went back to the gym and I killed myself. I worked harder than I ever worked. I wanted the next time I saw him, he would know exactly who I was." And that's exactly what happened. But the story gets deeper, because Ali had his own reasons for not recognizing Tyson that day. By 1984, Ali was lost. His career was over. His health was fading. He was trying to figure out who he was without boxing. When you're the greatest, and then you're not fighting anymore, who are you? Ali was dealing with that. So when he walked into that gym, he wasn't looking for the next king. He was mourning the loss of his own kingdom. Cus D'Amato knew this. That's why he wanted them to meet. He wanted Ali to see that boxing would go on, that there would be another legend, that the sport he gave everything to would survive. But Ali wasn't ready to see it. Not yet. He was still holding on to his throne, even though he wasn't sitting on it anymore. This is the part people don't talk about, the pain of being replaced. Ali was the greatest. Everyone said so. But time doesn't care about greatness. Time moves on, and new killers are always coming. Tyson was that new killer. Young, hungry, and dangerous. Everything Ali used to be. And seeing that, even without realizing it, probably hurt. But Ali was also kind. That's why he asked the question. He wanted to encourage a young fighter. He wanted to give him hope. He didn't ask it to insult Tyson. He asked it because that's who Ali was. A man who lifted people up. Even when his own body was falling apart, he still tried to inspire others. That's greatness. Not the punches. Not the wins. The heart. Tyson understood that later. At first, he felt dismissed. But as he got older, he realized what that moment really meant. Ali treated him like a person. Not a celebrity. Not a killer. Just a young kid with dreams. And that was a gift. Because everyone else in Tyson's life saw him as a weapon. As a way to make money. As a monster to unleash. But Ali saw him as human. Years went by. Tyson's career had ups and downs. He went to prison. He lost fights. He made comebacks. He became a legend, but also a tragedy. And through it all, he stayed connected to Ali. They met several times over the years. Every time, Tyson showed nothing but respect. He would bow. He would smile. He would thank Ali for everything. And Ali, even as his body failed him, always recognized Tyson. Always smiled at him. Always treated him like a son. Because that's what they became. Not rivals. Not competitors. But family. Two men who both knew what it meant to be the most dangerous person in the room. And also the most misunderstood. In one of their last meetings, Tyson told Ali something powerful. "You asked me if I was going to be a star. I wanted to say yes so bad, but I didn't believe it yet. You made me believe it. Not because you saw it in me, but because I wanted you to see it so bad, I made it happen." Ali didn't say anything. He just nodded, slowly, with that same big smile. What does this story teach us? That sometimes being overlooked is the greatest gift. Tyson could have been angry. He could have felt disrespected. But instead, he used it. He turned that moment into fuel. He let it drive him to become undeniable. And that's the difference between people who make it and people who don't. It's not about being seen. It's about making people unable to look away. Ali didn't know he was talking to a future legend that day, but it didn't matter, because his question planted a seed that grew into one of the most feared fighters in history. And when they met again, years later, that seed had become a tree. Strong, tall, unshakable. But here's the twist. Tyson never surpassed Ali. Not in legacy, not in impact. Ali changed the world outside the ring. He stood up to governments. He fought for his beliefs. He became more than a boxer. Tyson was a killer in the ring, but he never had that same influence outside of it. And Tyson knew that. He never tried to be bigger than Ali. He only tried to be worthy of standing next to him. That's respect. Real respect. Not jealousy. Not competition. Just honor. Tyson could have said, "I'm better than Ali. I hit harder. I was faster." But he never did. He always called Ali the greatest. Always. Even when people argued. Even when they compared stats. Tyson shut it down. Ali is the greatest. I'm just Mike. The last time Tyson saw Ali was a few years before Ali passed. Ali could barely speak. His body was tired, but Tyson sat with him, held his hand, talked to him, told him stories, made him smile. And in that moment, it didn't matter who was the greatest. It didn't matter who hit harder. All that mattered was love. Two warriors at different stages of the fight. One at the end. One still going, but both understanding the cost. When Ali passed in 2016, Tyson cried. He posted a tribute. He called him his hero, his idol, his teacher, and he ended it with this line: "You asked me once if I was going to be a star. I spent my whole life trying to make you proud. I hope I did." And he did. Because being a star isn't about fame. It's about heart. It's about respect. It's about making the people who came before you proud. So here's the truth. That moment in 1984 wasn't about Ali not knowing who Tyson was. It was about two legends meeting at the wrong time. One was ending. One was beginning. One was fading. One was rising. But both were great. And in the years that followed, they proved that greatness isn't about being the best. It's about respecting the ones who paved the way and lifting up the ones who come after. Muhammad Ali asked Mike Tyson if he was going to be a star. Tyson said he'd try, and he became one of the most feared fighters to ever live. Not because Ali doubted him, but because Ali's question made him believe he had something to prove. And that's the greatest gift one legend can give another: a reason to fight. Did Ali make a mistake by not recognizing Tyson's greatness that day? Or did he give him exactly what he needed?